It's widely regarded as one of the best business class products in the world. With a fully enclosed suite and sliding doors, it's said to offer a first-class feel. A warm, attentive service level and dine-on-demand menu have helped it win many awards. But how does Qatar's Qsuite really shape up? Join me to find out.
Welcome to the channel. I've clocked up over 1 million miles flying around the world. In my reviews, I share the essential elements that I think make for a great flight. I hope you find the review interesting, and I'd be delighted if you subscribe to my channel. Your support really does go a long way.
The review starts at Hamad International Airport in Doha. The flight was the second leg of a journey from Sydney to London. I'd flown here in first class on a Qatar Airways A380. There's a link to that review on screen now. That flight had arrived at Concourse A. There was a nearby business lounge, but I chose to walk to the other end of the terminal to experience the new Al Muhajir Garden Lounge. It was about 4 AM and the lounge was very quiet. The flight was part of a round trip from London to Sydney. The business class return cost £6,853. I paid an additional upgrade fee for first class on the previous sector. The Qatar Airways app allowed me to track my luggage to ensure it had made it from Sydney. The baggage allowance was up to 40 kilograms or £88 in total, so not as generous as most European or American airlines where you tend to get 2 bags weighing up to 32 kilograms each. You were also allowed 2 items of hand luggage weighing up to 15 kilograms or £33 in total. The lounge was spacious with plenty of seating. There was an extensive buffet of cold and hot food. There was also a gym within the lounge, something I've not come across before, so there was time for a not so quick 5k run. Exercise complete, it was soon time to head to the gate. My flight departed from Concourse A, so I had to walk back through the terminal. Hamad International Airport opened in 2014 when all commercial flights were transferred from the nearby Doha International Airport. It served 52.7 million passengers in 2024, making it the second busiest airport in the Middle East after Dubai. The Al Muhajir Garden Lounge and gardens below opened in 2023. Arriving at the gate, there was a priority lane for business class passengers to check in. Unfortunately, the gate lounge didn't have any views of the aircraft. It was a Boeing 777-200 LR aircraft. Registration Alpha 7 Bravo Bravo Bravo. It was 16 years old. When boarding started, business class passengers were invited forward very quickly after pre-boarding. A separate air bridge was used for business class. It was located in the front cabin of the aircraft and the first part of the second cabin. There were 42 business class Qsuites in a 1-2-1 configuration, with every other row facing backwards. I was at the rear of the front cabin in forward-facing suite 6B. The suite featured a 21.5-inch seat, which could recline to form a fully flat 79-inch bed. It was very comfortable as a seat. A cushion, pillow and blanket were provided. In front was a 21.5-inch HD touchscreen monitor. Beside the seat were controls to adjust the seat, along with a power socket and 2 USB-A ports. There was also a controller for the entertainment screen. The space next to the seat lifted up to reveal a storage locker, which contained a bottle of water and headphones for the entertainment system. Over your shoulder was a reading light, with further lights and air vents overhead. There was more than sufficient overhead storage, with a locker for every seat. Soon I was offered a drink. I opted for the Rosé Champagne, which was Duval Leroy Premier Cru. A wet towelette was also provided. The amenity kit was waiting on the counter. It contained an eye mask and earplugs, Diptyque eau de toilette body and face creams and lip balm, and socks. A set of pyjamas were also provided. To the aisle side of the seat, the armrest could be adjusted downwards. Even with the door open, the suite had a good level of privacy. The air bridge was retracted ahead of schedule as the crew served Arabic coffee and dates. Ahead of the safety video, a prayer was read.
Welcome aboard this Qatar Airways flight. Please pay attention as we take you on a journey to our many destinations and demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft.
We started to push back exactly on time for a relatively short taxi across the airfield to runway 34 left. The flight time to London was scheduled to be 7 hours 35 minutes. However, with our routing and weather conditions, we could expect a shorter flight time of just under 7 hours. I closed the door to my suite. With quite high walls, the suite felt very enclosed. Within 30 minutes of leaving the gate, drinks were served. I opted for a second glass of the rosé champagne. And then we moved to the meal service. My order had been taken before takeoff. I had also been asked when I would like to dine and had opted for just after takeoff. The table pulled out from under the entertainment screen and then folded open. A crew member laid a tablecloth and condiments before an amuse-bouche was served. A selection of breads had also been served. For starter, I opted for the well-presented caviar with Balek-style salmon with accompaniments blinis and Melba toast. This was excellent and the first time I've been served caviar outside of a first-class cabin. For main course, I opted for the roasted peppers and goat's cheese ravioli. Again, this was very well presented and was a nice, lighter option. I concluded the meal with fresh berries and cream, a simple yet very satisfying dish. Overall, I was very impressed by the meal. I thought it was far better than the meals I'd been served on the outbound sectors on Qatar's A380 aircraft. A good wine selection was available on board. There was a choice of Brut or Rosé champagne, 3 white wines, 3 red wines, a dessert wine and port. The bottles averaged £31.55 in price, or £21.96 if you excluded the champagnes. There was also a good list of cocktails and premium spirits. After the meal, I opted for a cup of mint tea and was brought a selection of biscuits to choose from. There were 4 toilets in the business class section, 2 at the front and a further 2 between the 2 cabins. Although a standard small aircraft size, they were well maintained. Diptyque hand wash and hand lotion were available. A changing mat folded down from the wall. Back in the cabin, I settled back with a drink and some crisps. I checked out the entertainment system. There was a fair range of international movies and television series. Good quality noise cancelling headphones were also provided. Wi-Fi was available for free to Qatar Airways Privilege Club members or for $10 for everyone else. However, it provided pretty poor download speeds. It felt like no time before we were preparing to land in London. A box of chocolates was offered as a thank you gift from the crew. We flew over central London and came in to land on runway 27 left at Heathrow. So what were my thoughts on the Qsuite and Qatar Airways Business Class? Hamid Airport was impressive. The Al Marjan Garden Lounge was a great business lounge. With an extensive buffet and a gym, it felt more like a 5-star hotel. It also wasn't too busy. It helped that frequent flyers with status not flying in business class can't use this lounge. They have a separate lounge, something which other airlines might consider to solve overcrowded business class lounges. The boarding process was good. Having a separate air bridge to board the plane was a nice touch. On board, the service was attentive. Qatar is certainly one of the best airlines I've experienced from a service level. The quality of food and drinks was very good. I'd say again at the upper end of the business class offer, but that's in part because other airlines have chipped away at their offering over recent years. The entertainment system was good, although not as extensive as some competitors. With Delta, for example, it felt like you had about 4 times the amount of content to choose from. The Wi-Fi provision was disappointing. I've seen numerous complaints about the Wi-Fi on Qatar Airways elsewhere. Finally, the Qsuite. It was certainly very comfortable and spacious, with plenty of storage and surfaces to put things down. The sliding door created a very private suite. The height of the walls blocked out a lot of noise and light from the rest of the cabin, which has many positives, but some downsides too. For example, with such a level of segregation, maintaining a good temperature for all passengers is harder. The Qsuite was certainly a game changer when it was first introduced in 2017. Today I still think it is a market-leading product, which I would certainly fly again on a route where it's available. If nothing else, I think the Qsuite has pushed the rest of the industry to up their game and introduce better business class seats. But none seems to have got it quite as right as Qatar. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out my other travel reviews and share your thoughts about the Qsuite in the comments below. And please do subscribe for future reviews.